I believe we're in a slow motion regime change policy right now towards Venezuela. And what that means is that we are taking actions that can begin to provoke the kind of dynamic where we end up engaging in offensive military action into Venezuela. And there's a variety of ways to get there. And uh, professionally, I worked in that famous regime change war that was unprovoked called the war in Iraq when I was at the State Department working in military affairs at the beginning of my career in the Bush administration. So I've seen this movie before where we see the administration create predicates and they use those predicates to justify to the American public the rationale for going to war unprovoked. And that's what I'm afraid we're witnessing now with the concept of narco terrorism. First of all, there is no legal term, narco terrorists. There are terrorist organizations, foreign terrorist organizations. There are state sponsors of terror as well, like Iran or Sudan in the past. These are all legal terms and defined as such, and those enable actions to be taken by the executive branch to counter them, maybe sanctions, maybe breaking up their illicit networks of trafficking weaponry, maybe intelligence operations, occasionally military action in the case of against ISIS. But there's no such thing as a narco terrorist. Where we have historically been encountering narcotics trafficking, and it is a problem, it is always a problem, is that we have used law enforcement through a mechanism called international narcotics law enforcement activities. We have a bureau at the State Department that does that. It engages with our Coast Guard, it engages with our civilian police, it engages with our military to interdict. And those entities engage international partners and allies so they arrest such boats. And that's not what we're doing. We're actively conflating the two. What we are doing is we're putting a wartime designation onto a civilian activity, conflating it and then acting upon it without any legal authorization. Nothing from Congress, no authorization of U.S. military force, no War Powers Act invoked, which is what the president should have done. He says he doesn't want to do it. Literally no authorization, unauthorized military action against entities that are not designated for being on the receiving end of military action, all in the service of, again, what I believe is a slow moving regime change policy.